Jackson's party was booming with music, and everyone was having fun, dancing and chatting. As shy as I was, I focused on my drink in my little corner, when suddenly I noticed Jackson inviting me to join him in the corridor. I followed hesitantly, because even though I knew exactly what we were going to do, I wasn't quite sure I was ready for it. He took me to his parents' basement, and we sat on this old worn-out couch, as I admired his collection of paintings. He came closer to me and took my drink out of my hand as I asked him what is it that he wanted to show me. He smiled and responded, "I will see," as he leaned towards me with our eyes gazing at each other. I was 17 and had never kissed a guy in my entire life, unless my 14-month-old baby brother counts. I knew I shouldn't be here or be doing what we were about to do, because I knew how serious the consequences were. But I had made up my mind and was determined to fit in and be like the other girls. Our faces came so close to each other that I could feel the warmth of his breath on my face. He had already opened his mouth when suddenly I paused, realizing something wasn't right. I had seen this moment and something was lacking. Something or someone had altered my future, but who? But how did we get here, and how could I have known the future had been altered? Well, let me tell you my little secret. My name is Raisa, and I was born with a very special gift. I can see the future. I call it a gift, but sometimes, if not most times, it feels more like a curse than a gift. Like the time when I broke the TV and immediately saw a flash of my mom beating the living daylight out of me. She may think she beat me only once for that, but the fact that I had to endure the trauma of the upcoming beating all day before I was actually beaten made it feel like I was beaten many times over for the same crime. When you see the future which you can alter by your present actions, it feels like you have a gift. But when you see the future you cannot alter, the inevitable consequence of your past actions, then the trauma makes this ability feel like a curse. The good news was that I could always see my future, or a future I was in. Dealing with my future was hard enough. I couldn't imagine having to deal with that of other people. Jackson was my high school classmate. He was cute and had this aura to him. Most of the girls of our class flocked towards him, and I was no exception. The only thing I couldn't afford was to be with a guy, at least not the type most of them are. If you are guessing that's because of my gift, then you're completely right. My grandma told me she had the same gift, but lost it at 16 when she got entangled with her high school sweetheart. Sadly, they never got to marry after that, as he died in an accident. Grandma always reminded me of this whenever I talked about having a crush on a guy in class or the neighborhood. Now, this thing was really looking like a curse, at least as far as most of the guys I took interest in were. Whenever a cute guy approaches me, I will look into my future and it will always be the same thing, a prenuptial entanglement at the expense of my gift, or curse. I mean, it has its pluses and minuses, and I had grown used to anticipating things before they happened. However, when I turned 17, in the midst of all the peer pressure from the girls in my class and my closest friend, Bethany, in particular, I was ready to sacrifice everything so as to fit in. I was tired of holding my feelings in and avoiding boys, whereas the other girls told me they were having fun. For how long will I have to put this gift ahead of myself, I thought to myself. Grandma told me if I waited till marriage, unlike how she failed to do, perhaps I could have both the joys of relationship and my gift. Bethany thought this was old school and asked me why I would wait if I could enjoy now. Also, Grandma didn't sound very convincing. It felt more like a guess. What if after all the wait, I still lose it? Then I will have missed out on the fun the girls kept talking about. It was a very difficult decision for me until Jackson walked up to me after school that fateful Friday and invited me to his birthday party the next weekend. I was in ecstasy when he said he wanted me instead of all the other girls flogging around him. I went back and slept, hoping to see something different in my vision this time around. If by any chance Jackson was a guy who wanted more than just youthful entanglements. But